Hey everybody, and welcome to another Sunday evening. This time it is the holiday season. The holidays are upon us. For those of you who are celebrating Happy Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. I believe it is the fourth night of Hanukkah tonight. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Sunday. I forgot to turn the sound on my phone off. How embarrassing is that? We are going to be...
Did you start over already?
Yeah, we gotta start over already. We are going to be talking about our favorite things from 2020. They are not necessarily gaming related. They may be TV related or toy related or gaming related, just all sorts of stuff. Like 2020 has been a year, so let's focus on some of the positives. We even have a special recording from Wargamer Girl herself, Miranda, that we will play later on, maybe about halfway through the show. I think that's how a teaser works. Stay tuned later. That's how you tease, right? I did that right? Okay, good. Of course, we are going to be hobbying tonight, and I hope you hobby along with us. I'm going to just really quickly show off that I got the yellow done on my Gene Stealer Dune Buggy, and I like it a lot. It looks really, really good, and that was done with contrast paint. So tonight, I'm going to be working on the individual characters that I have left, and maybe one of the bigger vehicles. And the camera will focus better once I put color down. That's what I realized. It needs color. It's not happy with the white. Sean, what are you working on?
Well, the first thing I'm wondering is why you're all green. But aside from that, I went ahead and inked and dirtied up all my Space Marines, so I'm going to be doing a bunch of dry brushing with some olive paint. I think I'm using some Vallejo model color tonight.
Yeah, so I don't know why I keep turning green on your guys' screen. On my screen, I'm not green, so it's not green on the stream. So that's good.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. All that matters.
Not green on the stream. Josh, you're PvPing.
No.
Oh, you're done with that. What are you working on?
I am working on nothing right now. I'm just relaxing. I had a very stressful weekend, and now it's going to be the start of the work week, and I need to relax. So I'm relaxing. I'm going to talk about 2020 with you guys, and that's about it.
Fantastic. Aaron, what are you working on?
Well, a couple cool guys for Christmas, and supposedly my birthday, which, is a real gray legal area.
Listen. Okay, if we take the gift that we sent you and we just use the normal MSRP, that's your Christmas present, and then the extra amount that we had to pay to buy it off of eBay plus the shipping is your birthday present. And just to be clear, I did math it out, so we spent more than 2 times the amount on your gift than we did on Josh's gift.
Go.
So we did make sure that it was mathematically fair.
Yeah, okay. All right. I see.
All right. As long as that.
Well, anyways,
as long as the numbers.
Void Dragon, which some cool guys got me for Christmas and shipping for my birthday.
Yes, shipping for your birthday. I'm a psychopath. I don't feel bad at all. So we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. I have, 15 different tabs open. We got a whole bunch of videos. I know that there's been a lot of stuff going on with Death Guard, which I don't care. But I figure that you guys might want to talk a little bit about all the Death Guard insanity.
I mean, stuff's happening, stuff isn't happening. They pushed it back. They're revealing stuff as it's going on.
Yeah. So what are they?
Which are cool, but also kind of useless.
What are they revealing?
So there's new contagions, which are an expanding bubble. Every turn, as long as every model in your army is Death Guard, they will put out right now they showed off a -1 toughness debuff.
And where does that bubble emanate from?
From any model or any unit that is Death Guard, as long as everything is Death Guard.
Okay,
but
so
turn 1, it's 1-inch bubble.
It's not just from like Mortarion or something.
No, so this -1 toughness is a bubble that Mortarion used to have, but it doesn't. but Mortarion actually has a special rule where he is always on the top end of what the bubble can be. And at the largest, so on turn 4, the bubble can be, 9 inches?
9 inches. I heard he had something that he could do 14.
Well, that's with his base, right?
Yeah, with his base.
Yeah. With his base. Okay, so it's
Pretty big.
so it's similar. It's similar to the Space Marine thing and the Mechanicum thing,
Except for turn 1, it's completely useless because it's a 1-inch bubble.
unless you have some way of getting things.
No, it's
Down.
not completely useless. Turn 1 assaults, man. That's fantastic. It's just that much more little.
It's Death Guard,
buff,
though.
buff.
Very rare.
really
No,
Death
I'm
Guard
talking.
Contact
Yeah,
with people.
but if I'm Blood Angels or give any number of Assault Marines, I want to charge you first turn. So it still has the potential to be an impact like immediately, right?
It's defensive. It's defensive.
At any turn, it's still going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying you were wrong. Is all I was getting at.
That-
I see what you're getting.
That's what's important.
Right.
That's what's important. Yeah.
So they changed Disgusting Resilience. It's -1 damage from each.
But a minimum of 1, which is
But a
stupid.
minimum 1. Right. So for things like Poxwalkers that had no save, no invulnerable save, they just had
Disgustingly resilient.
4. That's what kept them alive. We'll see what they do with them because they're already 1 wound, and you can't decrease Disgusting Resilience to 0.
Yeah.
Change.
It's weird. That part is weird because, I mean, unless they're assuming that people aren't going to take hordes or that I don't know. Like they increase the ability to deal with hordes, right? With all this blast stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
They could be giving them feel no pain on top of the other thing, which would be awesome.
Right.
I think the
I
whole
mean-
point of this is to get rid of people playing garbage zombie armies. It's been one of the most annoying, stupidest things that's existed in the game since like 6th edition, and I am not sad to never see another zombie on a board ever again.
Why?
I don't like zombies.
Like in general, or specifically because of the rules?
All and any. Like, pick a reason not to like zombies. I don't like zombies.
Something's wrong with you.
Nah, man. Like all that garbage. Do you remember fighting? You probably not. You were probably the jackass who did it. But the invisible zombies from 6th edition.
No.
No. Okay, yeah. So good zombies.
But Josh did
and
paint and build 90 Poxwalkers for 8th edition.
So did a lot of people, and that's why they're butthurt about it.
Yeah.
But again, we don't know what the other rules are.
But
right?
I also liked the big giant horde of zombies slowly walking towards us. I wasn't a big fan of the stacking bubble of rerollable, disgusting. I wasn't happy about that. But my reaction wouldn't be to be like, it is useless for you now.
Yeah, no, it would have been mine either. I think they did go a little far. But I'm not gonna poo-poo them for that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to make the 8th edition Disgusting Resilience into a stratagem or a special character, possibly like ability.
Yeah.
Much like they did with the Necrons and the old reanimation protocols, they just turned that into a stratagem.
That's what I was. What's the guy's name who increased that? Like worked with the Poxwalkers.
Necrosis.
Yeah.
Well, there was Necrosius that was the Forge World model that just got squatted.
And Typhus, right?
Typhus.
Stuff.
Typhus. I
There's
think.
Typhus, yeah, the big dude himself. He buffs them a lot.
I thought that they would probably move that to one of those characters, but yeah.
Well, that's the little thing is we'll see. It was supposed to be out by now, but they did delay it, which it sucks. I'm sure it's not their intention at all.
So really quickly, let me talk about painting vehicles with contrast paint.
Ooh, yeah.
So it has worked absolutely incredible for doing this yellow, but only under the condition that you're going to want to weather it. So it's very hard to get like a super flat, like perfectly uniform color. So if you're interested in something that looks like it's coming off the factory line, then contrast painting your vehicle is not the way to go, especially if it has big flat surfaces, because a lot of times there's just no way to get those pools and those brush strokes out. You know what I mean? But for doing this like weathered, damaged look, it's a freaking dream. Like, it's awesome to just be able to slather a tank with a paintbrush again and not have it be a nightmare.
Well, and what's
By the way,
really
I
good
didn't
for
hear you
the
say
model that
slather
you're
a tank at first.
using
I heard you
is
say
there's a
slather
lot
a
of little
tank.
nooks and crannies on that. Like, it's not a flat panel brine, right?
I mean, there's a lot of flat stuff, and particularly on the Ridge Runner, like the whole front is flat. You know what I mean? It's not as flat as a Rhino, but there still is a lot of flat places.
Sure.
You're also doing heavy weathering and stuff, so.
Right, that's my point. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to be doing heavy weathering, then I'm finding the contrast paint to be very useful and very refreshing. And I'm glad that I didn't go forward and airbrush everything. But if you're thinking about, you know, doing something that's not weathered, I don't think it's going to work as great for you. So that's just what I've learned from painting these vehicles with the yellow. But in terms of coverage and getting a good yellow, like, I don't know, it's pretty awesome. It's working out a lot better than I thought it was. And you can see we've only been talking for 10 minutes and I've almost got one entire tank base coated.
It is pretty fast. It's impressive because yellow is one of those colors that is difficult to layer sometimes.
Yeah. So that's my hot take for today. Any other GW news we want to get into before we jump down the rabbit hole of our 2020 positive experiences?
There's all the Warcry books that came out. Still haven't gotten them, but I wasn't so thrilled about having to buy 5 new books. But I do have armies across all factions.
Yeah, that was one of your at-home projects. Was working on all the factions. You know what? They probably watched our videos and they're like, "Well, we know we got one person who's gonna buy them."
Yeah. Pretty much, I'm sure.
All right, so 2020. There's a lot of stuff that's been super enjoyable. I would say particularly in the entertainment wise. And I know that a couple of us picked a few of the same things. So I figured I would start with the thing that we all have and that we all picked. By the way, Shivan, hey, did anyone remember to remind you of the time in 1998 when The Undertaker threw Mankind off of Hell into the Cell onto the Spanish announcer table? 2020 positive experience. The McRib is back. You know what? That's true, and I ordered one. It was great. It cost me $25 to have a McRib delivered, and it was.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you paid $25 for a McRib or the fact that Shivan has eaten 25 McRibs already.
Shivan got salty on my I should be painting video because I did not include his models on it. It's not a ranking, Shivan. It's not a ranking. Okay,
It was a slight against you, Shivan.
It's not a slight against you, Shivan. So what I would say the one thing that all of us have been enjoying is the Oculus. So if you don't know what the Oculus is, I'm playing a video of it. It's on silent, so we can talk over while everybody else talks. It is the Facebook virtual reality rig that's completely wireless, and all 4 of us have it. And I know that I have been super, super enjoying it, especially over the PlayStation VR. But how I've spent $300 on McRibs. You know what? Like, there's an app, or there's a website that lets you know like where the McRib is, and then there's people who venture to get the Shamrock Shake McRib combo, right? So they know that the McRib is, because the McRib comes out when pork prices are at a particular level, and it's regional.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, so like there are people that go on quests at the time of the Shamrock Shake to get the elusive Shamrock Shake McRib combo, which I have had. It happened in Chicago once, and it was glorious.
And now he has diabetes.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds like diabetes geocache.
Yes.
Well played, friend. Well played.
Yes.
On that joke.
You gotta love that the Shamrock Shake doesn't melt, right? Like, that's the scariest part about the Shamrock Shake.
So that Oculus is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Oculus.
Yep, I've been using it like Aaron and Josh had recommended, and have been using it for a long time to get some cardio. There's some games there that can really get your heart rate up and get you sweating a lot. There's some games that are pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to us playing the Star Trek bridge game, where we each take a position on the bridge of one of the Star Trek ships and do battles. Kind of like if anyone's ever played Archimedes at any cons. I know it's always at Adepticon.
Artemis,
sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There was the Warhammer 40K Sisters game that just came out, which I don't know if any of us have played.
I downloaded it,
Okay.
but I have not loaded it up. It's on queue to be loaded up. I was enjoying Beat Saber on the PSVR. I'm enjoying it even more on the Oculus because it's a more accurate system in terms of tracking your hand movement, which did mean that I had to like kind of start over and relearn the game. But I am proud to say that as of yesterday, with the exception of the one pack that all the songs are just stupid hard, I have beaten every song on Expert for every pack except the one stupid hard pack.
That's cool.
So, and now I am starting to venture down the Expert Plus route. The only negative, though, is that, like, because I've practiced so much on Expert, I don't really get my cardio in unless I'm on Expert Plus. Because now Expert, I know the levels too well, and I'm not getting my heart rate up. So I have to keep raising the bar in order to have it be a fulfilling exercise.
You're just
Great.
too hardcore.
I hope I just keep sucking at it, because I'm definitely getting
Josh, you like a different game though for exercise.
I actually warm up with Beat Saber, and then I play Thrill of the Fight, and I usually play the toughest guy on there. So I've gotten to normal setting, and then I play this guy that has 5 3-minute rounds. And after that, basically you can't knock him out, as far as I've seen. I've gotten technical knockouts in the 4th round, but I mean it's a brutal slog. So I'll do a couple 6-minute songs, and then a 3 and a 2 3-minute songs, like on hard, fast on Beat Saber, and then I will go do Thrill of Fight. It's amazing. The graphics stink for it. I mean, they're not terrible, but I mean, you're really there to really work out. The thing about it is, your stamina is your character's stamina, and you are throwing punches. So you're like literally punching for like 15 minutes straight. And I don't know if you've ever tried to punch somebody for 15 minutes straight, but it's not real easy.
It's not.
Should we play the Invisible Guy?
I have not played an Invisible Guy.
Oh, it might have been a Halloween ish time exclusive, but it was a ghost, and you could only hit him when he wanted to hit you and became like corporeal.
Huh.
And he was an annoying bastard. You couldn't knock him out.
That sounds like one heck of a fight.
I've never heard of that guy.
Bridge Command was awesome. Star Trek Bridge Command was awesome. Yeah, it really is. Josh and I have played a little bit of Star Trek Bridge Command. By the way, Trainaholic, hello, welcome. It's so good to see you. I miss you. Hey, Trainaholic, there's a box behind me. It has crystals in it. It's waiting. It's waiting for you. What did you think of Bridge Command so far? Josh.
I loved it. It was great. I'm the best TAC officer you've ever had because I shoot first and ask questions after you tell me to attack.
The only super negative is that the getting into the same game room with your friends is
oh my God.
is a nightmare that involves swearing. It's just the least intuitive, dumbest thing where you have to log into like 5 separate servers and authenticate yourself 9 times and, verify bank accounts and do wire transfers, and then they're like, oh, okay, you guys know each other. Now we'll let you join this game together. It was really freaking annoying.
We were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It was like a good 2 hours to figure it out. That's really not exaggeration. I think it was like 10:30 or something, and then all of a sudden it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were finally in the same game together. We're like, well, I guess we turn it off now because we have to go to bed. But once we had it figured out, it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to play with the full crew. Maru.
We did, which we
saved some people, and we blew up a bunch of stupid rounds.
And we didn't die. So technically, it said that we failed all the missions, but I'm pretty.
It said we passed it for me.
Okay.
But pass, fail.
Yeah, because it's impossible to pass anyways. So that's a big positive for us. Sean got something really cool.
What did Sean get?
And I'm going to show a picture of it.
Mixer?
And I have the video. Oh, first I'm going to show the picture. So first of all, what is this terrifying looking little device?
This is a present that I coincidentally got from my father-in-law, who's a doctor. It is a lab grade mixer for test tubes. So you can do like your blood sequencing, or if you want to mix explosives together. No, I actually have no idea what I would do chemistry perspective, because I think I slept through all those classes in high school. But for paint bottles, it's awesome. So with your normal paint shakers and stuff like that, you're rigging something up to, like a jigsaw, or you've got a drill that you tape the paint pot to, or you went and bought something that you can strap a bottle of paint into. Particularly the ones that you can strap a bottle of paint into, they have a very limited size that you can put in there. This thing, you take your paint, you press it down on the little jig just vibrates and spins and does its magic. And especially if you have a mixing ball inside of the paint, it does a fantastic job. So absolutely love it. I walk over with my paint, I press it down, hold it for 30 seconds, whatever. And it's
so the bottle in your video looks pretty big.
It is. It's I want to say a 7. Oh, I don't know. That one's got paint all over it.
I mean, but does it work with like the?
Oh, absolutely, man. So normally the little dropper bottles.
Yeah.
But it also works on the GW stuff. Again, if it's something really old that you need shaken up, it's gonna take some time, and you'll want a mixing ball in there. But it'll do anything, because it's just like a rubberized grip. So you're not inserting the paint into anything. You're just pressing it down on this rubberized grip, and then the machine under the rubberized grip is doing the rotation for you.
That's awesome. You're gonna have to link. Link cool. That. Because I've never seen anything like that, and I think it's really cool to have a laboratory grade mixing thing for vials. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? Like when you think about it, like duh. Okay.
Yep. Well, and it's got that little depression,
of course, that's what we need,
for you to like put the bottom of the test tube into, so that it's got more traction.
Exactly.
The rounded bottom. So what I've done is with my little dropper bottles, I take the little point and I press it down into the little thingamajiggy and just hold it there, and it's not twisting, so it's not going to take your lid off. It's fantastic. So yes, I will get a link for the group, and if you're on Patreon, I'll put it in in our Patreon.
Oh, that was slick.
Discord.
Slick.
Yeah, right?
Same blood type required to play. Miss you too, buddy. I know. Slate. Yeah, we had to do a blood type. We had to do blood tests. It was serious. The Federation does not mess around when it comes to letting people play Bridge Crew.
They do not.
TV wise, a lot of good TV came out in 2020.
Good series.
I think both Aaron and I really enjoyed
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I did too.
So I'll play that trailer for everybody who is not aware of it.
I'm in love with the idea of Lovecraft Country, except for I don't want to watch it.
Reacquainted with old friends.
True story.
Josh, did you end up watching
Jones?
The Color Outer Space?
No, have not seen it yet. It's on the list of stuff.
Yeah, it's on my list of stuff too.
So what I've been doing is instead of watching TV, I only watch TV when I'm on my.
Okay, so I know you guys can't hear it, but I'm playing the trailer.
Oh, okay.
We're all muted though, right?
No.
Oh.
This place is dangerous.
I thought the world was one way and found out it isn't.
I haven't even gotten to the real strange part.
All right, so that's Lovecraft Country. Not going to give away any spoilers, obviously, but I thoroughly enjoyed that show.
Me too. I really liked it. I am a fan of Cthulhu sort of mythos. It was not what I expected, and it was better than what I expected, to be honest. And yeah, I'm really glad that they went the direction that they did. It wasn't just like, hey, we're in Arkham and things are just spooky here. And it's just a rip off of everything, sort of Call of Cthulhu-ish.
Yeah, no, it was it was not done in the way that I expected it to be done.
I like the way that the episodes were all very different from each other.
Yes, that was a very interesting technique.
Like an American Horror Story kind of vibe.
Not quite as different as that, but close. Close
Gotcha.
for
Well,
sure.
it's still the only thing that's on my list of stuff I need to watch.
Oh, did you finish? Did you finish that sci-fi show? The Raised by Wolves?
I watched that. That was also very good.
So Kimmy watched Raised by Wolves with me, the first episode, and I thought she was going to start vomiting or something. She's like, I'm not watching any more of this show.
Why?
It was very disturbing to her. She didn't. First off, she hated that. Well, I can't.
Just
really
say
talk
it.
about without
Say it.
spoiling.
Who cares? Spoiler alert. Josh is going to spoil shit.
I mean,
Say
it's
it,
just
Josh.
the first episode, so kids
Yeah.
die, and she really didn't like that. So.
Well, that'll do it. It's a totally different thing watching movie or media where kids get murked when you don't have any kids, and then when you do have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well, I mean,
for sure.
That
It's
is
a
like the
different thing
very
in your
least
brain.
of what happens in that episode.
Oh yeah. See, I just saw that as a plot device.
Yeah, see? But that's how your brain works. When you have a kid, you're like, oh, hell. There's a cat screaming outside. How'd my kid get outside, and why is it dying?
Yeah. It definitely hit some threads. I will say, like, it was just nice to have some interesting new media. 2021 is obviously going to be like Star Wars Marvel insanity with the amount of stuff that they've released. And we can talk about what the future holds. But GW Epidemius.
Yeah, I just finished them today. It's been one of those projects that has been in progress, honestly, for a couple of years. Like, started with the idea, always hated the GW model, so I decided to scratch build my own. Really happy with it, but took a while. Then started painting it, and there's over 70 nerdlings on there.
That's crazy.
What?
So, yeah, and of course, like, I was like, gotta paint them all differently. So I burnt myself out on painting all those.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, I was trying to burn them different colors and I hurt myself. I was like, whoa, no, where is this going? Oh, no.
So I just put it on a shelf for a while and didn't finish it. And then last week I needed to paint something for the stream, and I didn't really have anything at the point where I just needed to put a brush on it. So pulled that off and realized, hey, I didn't have that much left to do. So today I finished it off, and it turned out to be one of my favorite paint jobs of the year.
That's awesome. So that's a great topic. Josh, what is your favorite hobby-related thing that you've done this year?
My hobby-related is my Marvel Crisis Protocol. I think it looks great up on the shelf. It's so cool. My son loves it.
But any particular model,
let me take a look. I love them all. I used contrast on all of them to make it way easier to paint.
Right.
And I just love. I think contrast paint's again MVP this year.
Yeah. I'm gonna be with you on that one, dude.
Yeah, pretty much all 6 of my Warcry, 5 of the 6 Warcry warbands that I painted this year were pretty much all contrast paints. And I'm happy with it.
I mean, it's incredible because, like, I mean, I did more work on the Space Marines. I think I painted double the number of Space Marines and double the number of vehicles than I have for the Gene Stealers. But the Space Marines were not 100% not contrast paint. They were airbrushed, right, and then highlighted with the airbrush, and then went back through and did the details on them. And they look decent. They look standard. They look like what you would expect to find, and I'm happy with them. But doing this whole army in contrast paint, the Gene Stealers, like, this has been great.
Yeah.
Like, it really has been great. But I think my top hobby item this year is the Book Nook.
Yeah, that was a super cool project.
I think that's definitely my favorite project from the year. Sean, what about you?
This guy right here.
That one specific soldier?
One specific Space Marine.
All right, now you're going to have to explain why.
He uses a bunch of different stuff. I did a bunch of different techniques on him that I hadn't done before. I really took the grimdark, make them dirty type thing from Josh's suggestion, like kind of all the way to its logical conclusion. And he is just an utter badass. Like, he is the dude. He's awesome.
Yes.
I'm thoroughly happy with him. I'm excited that he was one of, like, the first models that I got done, and he is kind of like the inspiration to do a bunch of more awesome models, which is really a huge pain in the ass for me sometimes. So having anything that motivates me, like this sergeant I haven't named yet, lording over my painting table, telling me to keep painting while I'm talking, is good.
So you feel like that model sort of represents maybe a turning point in hobby skill, or the way that you're thinking about the hobby, or the way that you're like, what does it represent for you?
Oh, death to heretics, bro. No, he came with a whole bunch of, like, lore and all that fun stuff, and From him being super badass and me being excited about him, I built this really awesome master that I had shared with the group and wrote a bunch of fan fiction fluff and stuff like that. So he's that model, like the building of that model before paint ever got on him, particularly the pose, I think, as well as some of like the little accoutrements and all those fun things, to steal one of Erin's words, really kind of kicked off the whole, this army as a project, not just like me building Space Marines and putting stuff together and it being cool and me trying to get cool poses. He really like distilled the mission statement and focus of the project into something that I thought was super awesome and am now excited to do, as opposed to like laboriously painting through hundreds of Space Marines.
That's awesome. Really quickly, just super quick technique. If you guys get contrast paint somewhere that you don't want it, you can really quickly water it down. Then grab a earbud, and you can get it like 100% off really fast. Josh's technique is to water it down with the brush, and then I think he wipes it off with his thumb.
Yeah.
But
I just get water on it real quick, and you don't get that bathtub ring or coffee stain or whatever you want
yeah,
to call it.
I use an earbud because, well, in that particular place, I don't think I could get my finger. But you can also use your finger. You can use that finger. I feel kind of the same way about the Gene Stealers. You know what I mean? Like figuring out, once I figured out sort of the first Gene Stealer, which was, these guys here. Even though there's a lot of even though it's not a simple scheme in that there's more than 5 colors being used and there's particular layers and layering of colors and whatnot, 90% of it is contrast paint, and I don't know, it really got me inspired to be like, oh, I can whip out this whole thing, and then with it concluding oh man, I can contrast paint these tanks. That's great. That's awesome. So I feel you on that. Sometimes it's just one model that gets you into a better path. And I didn't put it up, but I'm also really appreciative of these brushes that Erin recommended. These are great.
Oh,
I'm glad you like those.
I think that's another important thing that I kind of glossed over until you said brushes. I spent
Hey,
a fair
Pauly.
amount of time researching and diversifying my brush tools. I still use the same old brushes that I've used for years and years and years because they're still in good condition. But now I have trillions of weird ass tools in the ways of brushes to do all sorts of different stuff. And it seems kind of silly, but some cool guys I know recommended, hey, use a bigger brush to paint your bolt guns if you were there for that particular journey. And it makes a huge difference, so I can still get the same level of detail. I went and did these makeup brushes for the dry brushing are fantastic. I'm using sponges on dudes now, just all sorts of weird stuff that I had not incorporated yet. And, finally decided to go ahead and take the advice that people were giving me. And I'm very happy with it. Still takes me a while to paint miniatures, but quality-wise, I feel like I am at a completely different place than I was in 2019.
That's awesome. Do you think it was more of the techniques or the tools?
I think it was a combination of motivation, techniques, and tools. I think it had a part of all of it because I had this very real hey, let's just go ahead and knock this crap out and get it done kind of perspective when I came to this project, right? And then so through the model that I showed you guys and then building other models, I was like, okay, well, my guys are so dope from their fluff, I can't just let this model that I kind of half-assed it on or built the way that, GW gave it to me, I can't let that fly because that's not how cool this guy is, in the reality of Warhammer. And to that effect, right, then that gave me the same kind of motivation to do a higher quality painting, spend more time on each of the miniatures as opposed to just slapping them out. Like the Tyranids are just done, you know. But these guys, I really, I think I got all the right parts across a lot of different fronts aligned the right way. And I kind of feel like that's the first time that's happened in like 20 years of painting and modeling and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super happy. And like I said, the big thing is, it's not, man, I really need to go paint those miniatures because they're not painted, right? I'm like, dude, I can't wait to get done with this squad because then I get to move on to assault intercessors. You know, I got 2 tanks that are built. I can't wait to do all the things. You know, like I'm excited to put them on the table and play with them.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I feel you on that one. I apologize if I already asked you, Aaron, but what was your favorite hobby project this year?
My favorite hobby project would probably my overall favorite project would be the skits that I did for what was supposed to be the Adepticon Warcry narrative event. I put a lot of thought into them. It was very thematic. It was basically my theme was because I had just recently reread Don Quixote last time about this year. So I did this whole Don Quixote theme Gits Warcry like narrative warband, and every single one of the goblins was converted, which if you've ever done a goblin army and you know those old goblin model poses, there's not a whole lot that you can convert on them. And I gave them all helmets, which like knight helmets, which was kind of fun. So that was probably my favorite. I'm really curious to hear what everyone that's watching, like what everyone's favorite project that they've done is. And if you want to share a picture, throw it up in Discord because I'd love to see what everyone else has been doing this year.
Absolutely, I would love to hear about it and see about it as well. Yeah, for sure. While we let people gather their thoughts, we can move on. Josh, you put up the Cool Guys Nation Facebook page as one of your favorite things from 2020.
You were my favorites. I would go crazy if I didn't have you guys.
Amen.
Aww.
And at first I made fun of you, and now like I feel really bad about that.
You should.
Yeah, you should.
So at coolguysnation.com, check it out if you haven't. It pretty much just links you to the YouTube page. But I think, good morning, how are you doing? What are you painting? We will catch up on what we were painting in 1 second, Bliss. I think that's a really, like, honestly, that is probably the most important thing, is that at a certain point we were all kind of talking, and you know, we were feeling the feelings that we were feeling because of 2020, and so we decided to, like, we need to get a routine down. We need to do something every week where we can hang out, where we can hobby. We decided to open it up to the CGN community, and we've been so appreciative of all the support that we've been getting, talking to you guys every week, seeing your projects on Patreon and on Discord, and just in general having that camaraderie despite the distancing has been I think very, very crucial for 2020.
I almost feel like we've become better friends because of all this.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, Sean, you and I, like, we would hang out at Adepticon.
Yep.
But this year, like, we've been chatting on basically every fucking day.
Homies.
And it's been great. You guys have helped keep my sanity. I know that. And it's been really awesome seeing the community come out every week as well. And,
Yeah.
you know, getting to see the regular faces and seeing everyone show up and hanging out on the Discord, like it's something that's really helped a lot this year, and I'm really appreciative of it.
So Bliss, I am working on my Gene Stealers. I got 2 of the Rock Crushers. I got my Brood Mother, I think is what it's called. And then I have 4 or 5 characters. One is a custom banner that I'm finishing up. This is the rest of my army, with the exception of 4 models that are in the mail. Once these are done painted, my my Gene Stealer cult is done. I decided that if I needed pure strain Gene Stealers, then they would just have to be the color of my pure stain Gene Stealer from my Tyranid army. That's just they're just gonna show up. They're gonna join in. But I'm not gonna paint an additional 20.
Aaron, what's your project going to be next then?
Well, first of all, there's the second half of the Marines, right?
Okay.
So there's all of the Intercessor Marines. There's all of the War Buggies. There's the big fat building. There's all that new Space Marine stuff that's still new in box, and I'm really excited to get back to finishing. I got to paint the bikes. Actually, I have the bike. I got a bike right here. They're built. I got to paint the heavy guys. What I got done was all the stuff from the 8th edition box.
That's right.
Right? So now I got to get all the 9th edition stuff added to it. After
you don't
this.
want to start that right before 10th ed comes out.
I don't want to start that before 10th ed. What's going on as the next hobby project outside of painting miniatures? Well, there are 2 projects going on, actually. One is a project that Josh and I are working on where we are making a shelf display carry case, which is as bananas as it sounds. But essentially it is a shelf that you can take off the wall that will hold 10 of your Marvel Crisis Protocol models. It will be a display, so it'll look pretty, it'll be nice, but it'll also be a container that holds all of your cards and everything that you need so that you can take it with you and everything will be magnetized to it so you can throw it in your back seat and drive to your game store and, use it as your transportation, as well as a display in your home where you can just boop, put it up on the shelf. So that project is going on, and then personally I'm going to be working on my crystal table and Terrainaholic.
More?
Well, it's been on hold because I've been waiting for somebody, because technically it's a challenge video between myself and Terrainaholic.
Should have mentioned that 10 minutes ago before Terrainaholic went to bed.
I did. He heard me. I mentioned it to him. There was some subtle communication.
Okay. Blink.
But just really quickly for Bliss, Josh, you're just hanging out. Aaron, what are you working on?
I'm working on the Void Dragon, which is really difficult to put together because he's hollow and his butt connects at 2 tiny little tab points, and I have lotion all over my hands, so everything's sliding around. Plus, there's directions that are literally marked, and the numbers are wrong, and the directions are flip-flopped on the page.
Wait.
So I spent about 3 to 5 minutes to figure out how to put it in.
Why did you add the lotion to the mix? Was it just you're you know what I need? I need an extra challenge today.
Yeah. I'm building the Void Dragon on hard mode.
I'm just gonna add lotion to my hands. Oh man, it's I really like Legos, but they're too easy. So it's I gotta get drunk and then do Legos.
Blinded.
Because it's otherwise, I guess I could go Lego Technic, but I did get over my head with that stupid Lego docking bay. There's a 2020 project that gotta go. Hey, Polly, before you go, I don't know if you've already left. We have a video from Miranda.
Oh yeah, Polly, stick around and watch it real quick.
We will play Miranda's video.
Hello everyone, this is Miranda, aka Wargamer Girl. Aaron had asked me to pre-record a little video for things I like about 2020, which should be fast because it's going to be a short list. I can't join you tonight live because I'm actually raiding in World of Warcraft tonight. We're in Naxxramas, so I definitely am kind of enjoying my time there and hanging out with my guild and stuff. So, 2020. Well, I can say that one positive thing that began at the beginning of the whole pandemic scene was I actually started a better workout routine. I actually started running most days and about 3 miles a day. So that has been a positive thing mentally, and just being able to get into a routine that isn't just about sitting inside or in front of your computer. So I found that to be a very positive thing that I've been able to keep up with thus far, even as the weather gets colder. Another thing that I have enjoyed about 2020 is that through my paint and chats, I have been able to stay at least somewhat connected to the tabletop gaming community. Hobbying and painting are something that, while it's nice to have company while you do it, is not needed, unlike when you're actually playing games. So I have been enjoying catching up on some of those models. I've been learning new painting techniques, and of course my chat is always filled with way more experienced people who have given me wonderful suggestions over the time. So I am extremely grateful to all of those folks, as well as just being able to have hobbies to enjoy at home. And one of the really enjoyable things, we were able to have Valhalla here in 2020, and everything ran basically perfectly with it, so I was extremely grateful for that. But when I was there, we had a guest who really wanted to keep playing War Machine, and it had actually done a wonderful job, so thank you, Justin, for rekindling my joy in playing War Machine. I forget that when you play in a tournament scene, it is a very different experience than when you're just playing with friends. And you know, you can go to the local game store and play games, but a lot of times if the opponent's in sort of a tournament mindset, it's going to be more of a tournament experience than a casual play experience. And you know what? War Machine is dang fun when you play it casually. So I had a wonderful time with that, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I am happy to be back in love with that game in a way. So those are my major points for 2020, I guess. Like I said, it was a short list. And then as far as looking forward to the new year, obviously I'm hoping we can all get to play again face-to-face, in person, maybe see each other at some conventions. So I'm excited about that. And on the video game front, I'm super in love with, of course, the game Vermintide, and Fat Shark did announce that the Darktide game is on the way. So if you haven't seen the preview for it, go check it out, because it's really, really good. So I'm excited to go play Darktide as soon as that one comes out. And yeah, that's it. Happy rest of 2020. We've got, what, 2.5 weeks left to get through this? Good luck.
Well, thank you so much, Miranda, for giving us that video message. I think that we all super agree that the online community has been really helpful, and I'm glad that it's been helpful for you too.
Y'all the best. That was really awesome, even though, you know, she did choose rating in classic WoW over us. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Nax just opened up, and, you know, you gotta get your epic loots.
I totally appreciate and understand that. I mean, who knows what Josh is really doing right now? Like, he could be playing WoW right now.
He very well could be.
I know that he was sniping people and giggling at about 8:10, which was really amusing.
Lawn camper.
He's just like, ha ha ha, and I'm like, what's going on there, buddy? And he's like, oh, nothing, just shooting people in WoW with my bow. I'm like, okay.
It was awesome.
Cool.
And Josh, you're playing the new expansion in the
I am playing the new expansion.
In regular WoW.
What's the theme of this new expansion?
So you're like going into the afterlife, basically. Like Sylvanas does bad things. You gotta like clean up after her again. But it's pretty cool so far. Basically, she's shut down. Like all the souls are like going to hell instead of where they should be. So you're trying to work all that out and stop the devil for.
Dude, could you imagine if you worked your whole life just like being super duper duper good, just being like absolutely excellent, and then
you go to hell,
and then you just go to hell because of some video game?
Of a video game. Yeah, that would be the worst.
That would be the worst.
You're right.
Speaking of video games, there is one game in particular that a particular CGNer has been excited about, which has recently been released. And and that is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, you sent me a 10-minute video. I'm not going to play 10 minutes
did I?
of the video. I'm going to play about 15 seconds, and hopefully it's a good 15 seconds.
Making them sort of lone wolf outcasts in unfamiliar places like Night City. A nomad's character alignment can thus be described as more of a
man, I can't
chaotic...
wait for that to get released next year.
No, it's out, dude. It came out.
Was okay.
It's out now.
One Aaron got it. One Aaron didn't. And Josh just don't give a shit.
I got the game. I got it. The problem is that my computer can barely play it. But I have really enjoyed it so far, except for the driving. I have abandoned driving.
Sony actually started giving away returns.
What do you mean? Giving away?
People who complain on PlayStation 4 they basically can't run it, they can get a refund now.
Yeah, they should have released it on last-gen consoles.
No.
They should have just not done that. They could have focused on a lot of other stuff. They're just not...
Oh, you can't play it on the PS4?
You can, but the performance on the PS4 and the last-gen Xbox both suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it on complete... I'm playing it on the computer. I have it on just totally low settings across the board, which is fine. I'm still having fun. I just... the driving makes the game glitch for me, which the driving is hard enough when it's not glitching, so I don't know if you've mastered driving yet, but I've given up driving.
So, the calamity, as you guys know, has only continued for me because with it coming out this week, and I did finalize my new rig, which is a beast. But then I got the flu this past week, so I played it for like
8 minutes
2 hours when it launched, and then I haven't played it since, just because I've been.
Oh, really?
Today I was feeling a lot better, so I decided to do adult things that I needed to catch up on because I was sick. So even though I've been so hyped for the game, I was so excited for it, still am. I've been able to only play 2 hours of it since launch.
Well,
Cyberpunk 2021.
You are going to have a blast once you actually get to play it. I tell you, all I've been doing is running around, essentially working for the police, stopping robberies. So if you guys don't know what it is, it's pretty much dystopian vaporwave GTA. That's what it is.
Sure.
I like some of the bugs that I was seeing come up.
Of course, you know about the bugs.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's hilarious. There was a bug where everybody's penises were rendering outside the front of their pants. People would be running around and their junk would just be swinging in the wind.
Yes, that is one of the things about the game is that when you make your character, you assign genitalia. So,
And also the size of that genitalia.
Yeah, it has all whichever way you want to make it, you can make it.
I'm just sad because the game is like super RPG, and there's a lot of things that can change the outcomes of conversations and storylines, etc. And I am very disappointed that I spent like 45 minutes creating my character and customizing his dong, and it's not going to come up once in the whole storyline.
You never know, it might.
It's only going to come up in cutscenes.
I just like how you played the game for 2 hours and 45 minutes of it was customizing your dog.
I am with you, Aaron. Dude, when I made my my EVE Online character, I don't know how long I spent.
Oh, God.
All the stuff. And
people can see your character in EVE Online?
No!
Every time I want to.
Every time I want to.
I know, it's like a thumbnail.
It is
it's
literally a thumbnail.
Yeah, but like I'm about to play this character until the game burns down. So I'm gonna be stuck for 10 years.
I literally spent like minutes. I hit randomize until I saw something that I liked.
That's the guy who doesn't read his love.
I took care of my junk situation. I took care of my hair situation, my eye color situation, and I am super happy with all of my choices.
I can say I mean I'm still super excited for the game. I'm sorry some people are having some glitches. I saw absolutely none. Again, I know I just built a super awesome rig, and I can say that the game on all ultra high settings looks like a movie.
Dude, I mean, I'm playing it on a computer from 2014, and it's still freaking awesome. So, like, I'm actually really surprised to hear that the PlayStation is having problems, because I was totally shocked that I was able to play the game, and for the most part, like, once I turned, so it defaulted to everything on low except for texture mapping. It put on high, and I dropped texture mapping from high to medium, and I've had literally no problems playing the game.
I have another. I'll take it offline. I have a couple other tips that will optimize and give you better frame rates.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that on the other systems, things would just render super slowly. So they would actually like be walking into a place and suddenly cars would explode on the ground and NPCs would show up, and when they were driving, it was basically impossible to do anything.
I do really like that, Josh, you're not playing the game at all. I'm a super fan of it, and you do know more about all
The negatives.
Here's the thing.
Tell us the thing.
My Facebook is set up to only tell me negative things, but it doesn't matter because
it doesn't matter because you're already a negative person.
I'm super positive. That's the funny.
It's like you don't even own the freaking, like, you haven't even logged in, and you're like, did you know? And I've literally put 20 hours into it, and as soon as I turned, I've had very few glitches. Very, very, very few glitches.
The reason why is because I was thinking about getting it.
You should get it. It's awesome.
Explore. The thing that holds me back is that I'm really not a single player kind of person.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, and I love Shadowrun, and it's basically Shadowrun. So
it is. It's GTA Shadowrun. I will say, if you do want some negativity for it, I've been doing the net hacking, and I have found that to be about as tedious as being an archer in Skyrim, where it's like, I'm going to be an archer in Skyrim, and it's going to be great, and then you spend 50 hours playing an archer, and you're like squatting down everywhere and, shooting people in the head, and taking 3 hours to finish every single freaking cave is super annoying, and I'm just going to switch my character to a melee build who just runs in and punches everybody to death. I hope that as I go up on the skill tree in Netrunner, it becomes faster to do stuff, because
videos you can get super fast.
It's like I was doing one mission where it was like, okay, I gotta hack this person, and then I gotta hack the camera, and then while I'm in the camera I gotta hack this other camera, and then I gotta point that camera and I gotta hack that, and it was like 20 minutes later I finished all the hacks. The net result being 3 of the people had less damage resistance against me, and I still had to go in and shoot them all. And I was just like, great.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that definitely you need to get like higher level before you get all the real cool tricks that make you,
Yeah. But it's much slower than like just jumping in straight with the blade
I think it's like, if you really enjoy playing games that are more puzzle based and less running around shooting things, play the hacker. And that's one of the things that I think is really cool about the game, is you can play it however you want. Like, if you did want to switch right now to a melee brawler.
Oh, I just split the difference. I'm doing super sneaky with a sword and hacking. And then I sneak around and I cut people up into little pieces if I get bored of the hacking. Or I make their pants explode. It's great. It's awesome.
Hack their pants.
I literally hack stuff in their pants. And if they happen to have a grenade, then guess what? Your pants explode.
Kaboom, motherfucker.
So that's Cyberpunk 2077. We are excited about that for 2021. I have one that's personal that, is I got at the beginning of lockdown during the sale, I bought the Glowforge laser cutter. And that has been super, super huge for me this year. Not just because of the amount of new projects that I've been able to do, but because it has forced me to learn a program that I've kind of procrastinated learning, and that is Adobe Illustrator. And it's opened up a whole new set of skills for me, which is great. Like I've always, you know, even in college, at art school, I focused on Photoshop. I was not an Illustrator person. I just like did the Illustrator projects to get through the Illustrator portion of art school, but never like super dove into it. But now that I'm designing things in Illustrator, it's getting me interested in Illustrator. It's getting me interested in CAD. It's like getting me interested in industrial design and figuring out the way things work, and the way things that you have to put them together. And it's just been really great to have this machine that both has pre-existing kits, like pre-existing files that you can go and just make a cool project, or you can also just like dream up something and cut it. And I have found personally that laser cutting works way better with my brain than 3D printing does. And I have found it much more useful to actually make things. For example, I'll show something right now. I'll close this paint so I don't spill it. This is a non 40K related project, but I'm working on a shadow box based off of a photograph, and it's these mountains. This is half of them, and then all the mountains have like this cool gradient pattern, and I'm gonna airbrush them so they have the right colors. But it was just like, oh man, look at this really pretty photo of mountains. I think I'm gonna turn it into an awesome shadow box, and would never consider trying to do something like that without having this particular tool. Like, I'm not about to scroll saw, 30 pieces of wood. I have the skills, I have a scroll saw, but not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Well, that's super cool. That was a surprise hit of the year for you, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, it's enabled so many great things. Like, I've been building a lot of terrain. I built a lot of terrain. I did a whole bunch of custom bases. I did the Book Nook project. I'm doing the Shadowbox project. I've made a bunch of presents for people. Like, it's just added this wide breadth of ability, and it's a super turnkey. Like, I know it's expensive, but it's a super turnkey machine. I've had none of the problems that I've had with the the learning curve on 3D printing. I get it, 3D printing is great. I've had a resin printer forever. Look, I have this this is a resin printed Space Marine that I printed like 6 freaking years ago, okay? Like, I understand, it's amazing. 900% less fussy than a 3D printer. I cannot even express that to you enough. It's like the laser cutter works. 3D printers hopefully work.
I think that's one of the biggest feedbacks that I get from like people locally who use the 3D printers. Are like, we'll be like, hey man, can you print me some stuff? Oh, it's not working right now. Oh, this part's broken. That so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Or it's garbage quality. I mean, it kind of is what it is, right? Like, not all tools are created equal.
Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people who have the 3D printing down, who are constantly printing really good models. Good friend Paulie, like he's got his resin printer. He's making a Titan right now. It's freaking awesome. Everything is working and going great for him. I know that he went through some pain, but does not seem to have the consistent pain that I've had, right? But it's just also like the way that I think better in terms of 2-dimensional planes making 3-dimensional objects than I do on how sculptures like work. You know what I mean? Like the 3D printing. So I'm able to bring more personal creativity to the laser cutter than I am to the 3D printer. On the 3D printer, I'm very dependent on other people providing me files. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on the laser cutter, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make this thing, and I understand how it works.
It just is way easier for you to even try to attempt it, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Than trying to learn how to sculpt a face in the ZBrush. Right?
So we got about 20 minutes left. Anyone watching, you have any favorites, anything that you really loved that came out of this year?
I don't see anybody responding to that yet. I do have I got Sean's picture up of his Space Marines, which are all dirty and gross and awesome, looking great. Onward. Who suggested Onward?
That was me. Onward
I
is a movie that came out at the beginning of this year on Netflix. It's an animated movie. It is for families, but it's a fantasy movie.
I thought it was Disney Plus. It's a Pixar movie.
Oh, maybe it was Disney Plus. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. Beginning of the year, watch nothing but streaming stuff. So, but it was really good. Like the fantasy elements were really funny. There were some nods to some other fantasy pop culture stuff. It was just good. It was fun. Like it's fun for kids and for adults. Like, I don't have any kids. I really enjoyed it, and I just put it on to be like, oh, here's a new Pixar movie. I might as well pop this on and see what it is. And
I was really skeptical about it, like from the previews, because I have a child, so I'm down with all the previews that are coming out. So I was sort of aware that it was coming out, we were really happy that it, because at the time that it came out, it was right when you couldn't go to the theaters. So we were really happy that came out at home, and that was, and has been, my son and I's. We've watched that movie a lot. It really is great. Like if you're looking for just like a light-hearted, kind of Dungeons and Dragons sort of role play, like fun kids movie, like that still has some interesting things to think about. It's actually really good, like really, really good. So I concur with that.
Yeah, it is. It's in our regular rotation of children's movies that we can stand to watch.
Right now, we are in this unfortunate Boss Baby hell.
Oh God, I'm so glad that one's over.
Oh,
Like, don't get me wrong, it was cool once.
Yeah, but there's also, I don't know if you know this, but there's
Oh, God,
a
I
TV
know.
show. There's a freaking TV show. And now there's more of the TV show, which I don't understand why there's more and more Boss Baby TV show coming out. But, like, we are about to ban Boss Baby.
I mean, Aaron, it really is your own fault for not controlling what your son watches.
He does have some level of autonomy.
About Boss Baby?
Like
His personal health.
he is capable of turning things on and looking at the pictures and then watching it and deciding for himself whether he enjoys it. Like, I'm not gonna yuck his yums. Okay, I'm just saying I personally can't take any more Boss Baby, please. Please, no more Boss Baby.
Okay, so mine tops yours, and I'm not trying to be like one up you, but there's a YouTube channel that my son watches that is just another boy playing with monster trucks. Literally, that's all he will watch.
That's like what.
Bought him a monster truck.
It's
Oh, yes.
For 4-year-olds.
Yes, dude, we were doing the Adam was super into the marble videos. It's like these marble racing videos.
Yep.
Which were fine and were kind of entertaining, until he started watching two-dimensional computer-generated random marble races. And that was the point where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. This is just computer-generated two-dimensional balls bouncing around in a screen. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I gotta know which color is gonna make it first. I was just like,
no, son, no, you don't.
I was like, we gotta find something else here, please. Let's see. Starhawk. On the subject of animation, anyone watch Has Been Hotel? Yes. Yes, I did. It was great. It was really, really, really good, actually.
What is that?
It's on Netflix. Really fun.
What's it about?
If it is the one that I'm remembering, it is about a girl who loses her parents and has to go like stay at an in-laws like resort, like house place, and sort of has a competition between this sort of like mom and pop hotel and the big fancy rich people hotel. But obviously in the animation style, there's a lot more to it than just that, right? But it was really, really good. I think that's the one that you're talking about. Tell me if that's correct. Because I've watched a lot of anime on Netflix this year. I also have a picture of the Void Dragon, I believe. Is that correct? Is this what you're building right now? The crazy
Void Dragon.
Crazy Lightning Man?
Yeah, building it right now. I think really is, before I even built it, favorite model of the year from GW. I think it's just super cool. There was also the Cow Elves Hollow Dude that was pretty cool, but let's be real. Void Dragon, way, way cooler. So really stoked that I have it. I'm building it now. I should be hopefully done.
You like the Void Dragon more than the Silent King?
Yeah, I feel like there's just, I mean, the Silent King is super dope and there's a lot going on. That's just such a centerpiece model and there's just so much going on, whereas this is just, it feels more dynamic, more elegant, something that I think is more fun to push around on the table. There's more interesting things, I feel, even though it's a less surface area sort of model, I feel like there's just still more that you can probably do with it painting wise in some regards.
I just wish they would have done more with that like de-digitalization stuff that's like happening in his chest.
Yeah.
With more of the Necrons.
I saw there's the whatever Mancer that is yet to still come out, because I think that GW's just forgotten about some models this year, and I think the two new what are they called, Josh, Chronomancers or whatever, and the new Flayed ones, like, were supposed to come out with the Necron stuff and just didn't, and all the Necron stuff like stopped coming out like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's the Flayed ones. Yes, some stuff disappeared, and I don't know why.
It's like the World Bearer 30K models that I'm so hyped for, that the pictures came out like the first week of April, and now here it is end of year, and they never released them. It's weird.
Wow, so I've actually I made some pretty good progress. I've gotten like 80% done on everything that I have on the table, which is awesome. This army is going to be done before I know it. I will say that I had to abandon the cup nipples, the cup nubbins.
Really?
Well, so here's the thing.
I'm gonna go mix paint.
I go to rinse the cup out, right? And I dump it out, and then I run water in it, and then I dump it out, and then I run water it, and I dump it out, and then I come put it on the table, and the stupid thing is holding a whole bunch of tiny powdered, paint that's immediately floating back up, and so then I gotta dump it out, then I gotta reach my hand in, and then I gotta unsuction cup it, and I have to massage clean it out under the sink, and it was just like, this is just added.
Cleaning brush is great, cleans itself like crap.
Yeah, this has just added so much work to changing the paint water in my cup that It's in there now, and I doubt that I can get it on camera. But like the entire ring of it's just filled with like paint dust, like really fine paint dust. And you dump it out, and it looks like it's all gone. You put it in clean water, and then you look at it, and you just start seeing paint dust floating back up in your water. And I'm just like, this is terrible. This is not what I wanted. So yeah, a little bummed. I'm a little bummed about that, actually.
Well, you and Sean both went on hobby supply shopping sprees in the past couple months. I'm sure you both have found stuff that are winners and a few things that are duds. Hopefully those didn't break the bank, those little...
No, they were like $10 or something. Your brushes have been fantastic. Getting the Masters brush cleaner in the ye old timey like bottle thing. This stuff has been great. It's way better than the paintbrush cleaner that I had. I don't remember who recommended it. It might have been Amazon that recommended it, actually.
Fuckers.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Mastered Paint and Brush Cleaner, very popular. I got my puck. You only need one paintbrush cleaner to last you a lifetime.
So, Josh, I put something up for you. Magic Arena.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Magic Arena. They actually, funny enough, I keep putting in our chat those wins that I have with 1 million creatures, and I win by hundreds of damage.
Yes, that's the picture. That's the picture I have up. 292 damage over whatever his remaining health was.
Yeah. So they actually had to cap the amount of tokens that you can have in a game.
This son of a
games
bitch.
were shutting down, and it would just turn into a draw.
Josh is just over here casually crashing servers.
That's what I'm
That's insane. That's so dumb.
So yeah, see how many token creatures I have out?
Yeah, it's like the reason why I'm not playing. It's why I stopped playing Magic.
I'm sorry for you.
The new Magic Credo is just not for me right now. It's not for the meta. Is not for me.
Well, the meta right now is basically black, blue, rose, which is super not fun.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, totally enjoying it. But definitely excited about that.
Well, we have a little less than 10 minutes left. Any other favorite things of the year?
Let's see. I got 4 tabs left. And one of them is Zoom.
Yes, Zoom. I put that on there because we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have Zoom. So thank you, Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom is definitely out of all of the meeting applications that I've had to use for either work or fun, whether it was like schoolwork with my class in California or hanging out with you guys or Discord, random stuff for Battle, this and that, and Eve. Zoom is by far the best. We are super cool and lucky to have a professional, real, legit purchased version that doesn't shut down after 45 minutes.
Yeah, right.
But even if you're doing, a short call with your family or something like that, that free version of Zoom is still pretty badass. And quite honestly, if you invested some money in this thing a year and a half ago, you're probably about to get paid or already did.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I agree though. Like at work. We use we get meetings all the time, and every time I see a meeting invite that's not in Zoom, I'm just like, great. This is good.
My company uses Microsoft Teams.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, I don't mind Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's not as good as Zoom. You know, it's nice that it interfaces with my email and my calendar and stuff, but
so does Zoom.
Well, and I didn't know that, but the quality of our transmission is better, like no question.
No question. Sean, you put up the Astartes videos, which I think those started in long before this year.
Yes.
But they finished in April. Or I don't know if it's done. Is this the last episode?
I don't know if it's done either. The last episode came out earlier this year. The last episode that they have made. It is.
I think that is the last episode of this arc.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read that he wanted to leave it a little bit ambiguous and then start another story.
Which is cool. Fantastic. I am super on board with that. I love it. I think it does great justice to my favorite things in Warhammer 40k, which are the almighty Space Marines. I wish and hope, and just like, you know, every time I have a birthday, I blow out my candles and like, I want a full-length Space Marine movie.
Yeah, I like it's
so good.
It's absolutely incredible. It's definitely really amazing.
Done by Games Workshop.
Right, it's not done by Games Workshop, which is surprising that it exists.
Well, so I've watched a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, some other stuff I can recommend, and it's not from this year. But like, if you haven't watched Hell's Reach, the very beginning of Hell's Reach is awesome. It's all hand drawn stuff. It's utterly beautiful, really well done. And they eventually start getting into 3D rendering, and it kind of turns to garbage. But the first couple episodes are fantastic. There's another one, The Death of Something or Other, where it's the Word Bearers and the Ultramarines predominantly at the very beginning of the Heresy. There's one video where it's not set to music, and another one set to, like, you know, some kind of fun Florence and the Machine kind of music that's really good. But the point is, there are a tremendous amount of independent artists out there who absolutely love our hobby and are willing to go ahead and throw something up there and just to do the thing they love, knowing that GW might come in with a hammer and just crush all the work that they've done, right? So there really are, if you spend some time on YouTube just looking for Warhammer videos, you can find everything from like garbage simple animations about the Emperor telling the history of Warhammer to beautiful stuff like Astartes that, you know, you get 15 minutes of just brutal.
Yeah, which is amazing, because I remember like the first Astartes video, and it was just like, really, like they put a lot of time. I think it was like 30 seconds or something, and to see it develop into this whole thing. We are getting down to the last minute. Josh, for you, I put up Atomic Mass Games. Obviously, Marvel Crisis Protocol has been really big for you and me, you in particular. And as we talked about a couple weeks ago, you know, Fantasy Flight folding the X-Wing into the Atomic Mass Games area is going to be a big deal for 2021. But is there anything that you wanted to say about Atomic Mass Games before we head to the end?
I'm just super thankful because it's a great skirmish game. I really like it. It's very tactical and fun to play. So that's rare to have all of that in one.
Awesome. Well, it's that time where we are going to end the podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are still going to be doing these on Sundays as we can during the holidays. Obviously, once the holidays get started, schedules might change. There's going to be a little bit of a formatting change for I Should Be Painting over the next 2 weeks, which is going to be more holiday-related stuff. But otherwise, I hope everybody is happy. I hope that you're all safe. I hope that you're all getting your hobby done and that you are looking forward to what comes next in 2021. Today, let's see, I got both of the trucks completely base coated and they're yellow and they are dry. I got the Broodlord with his base coat done, which actually part of it is still not dry, which is kind of annoying. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my individuals about 90% done. So it was good progress for an hour and a half for me. Sean, what about you?
I am looking at a total dry brushed 6 models. And I am now going back on those 6 models and doing my brown. So I think for an hour and a half, 15 minutes a model of some detailed dry brushing is pretty okay.
Awesome. Aaron, how about you?
So I am probably about 80% of the way finished with the Void Dragon. I got the body all finished. Working on the base that he connects to. And then pretty much just have to put on the little back piece that will then connect him to the base and put on his wings. And then he's going to be donezo.
Fantastic. And Josh, did you get a good chill out?
I got a good chill, and I'm super excited to just be able to calm down and not worry about stuff for a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say a big hi to My Turn. That's I think the greatest name ever. Great handle. My Turn. I love it. Thank you all for joining us this Sunday. Have once again happy holidays. Enjoy your hobby. Try to remember what's been good about this year. Try to think about what's going to be good next year. And until next time, we'll see you on
The table.
The table.